What did you make of it?
Tough game against really good opposition, and I think sometimes you finish the game, and certainly getting towards the end of the game, there's that balance between do you go all out to win it, or make sure you don't lose it. And I think probably against the opposition and the feel of the game today, we certainly had to make sure that we didn't lose it. I think as regards chances, I don't think they had a shot on target, so from that aspect I thought we did really well. The best chance I think we had was Glenn's header, which knocked off the line, but I think it's probably a team in form like us against a team that that won their last two, and probably a draw, a fair result.
Very technical game, wasn't it? One of those where you had to, particularly defensively, had to be switched on throughout.
That is, Sean, because these got very good players, and I think with a team that have come down from the Premier League, have lost some but not many, and when they're able to bring on the subs that they are, Brooks, who I think is a real top quality player, and so they're allowed to bring on, or they're able to bring on, real quality to test us. So I think it was a different type of test today against a real good technical team that are capable of scoring a lot of goals.
As far as you mentioned the chance for Glenn Murray late on, what about for your side in the final third today? Tough because of the team that you're playing against, but are you starting to see more of what you want to see, having brought those new faces in January?
Yeah, I think so. I think getting into positions, I thought we got in some really good positions with Anthony Knockout. Probably out of the two flanks, that would have been, I think, our certainly better area, or the most productive area. I thought Anthony got into some really good positions. Unfortunately we didn't get enough from it, but I think as a team we're in good momentum, certainly starting to see more what we want from the team, and that there are going to be the games where the opportunities are going to be very few, particularly when you're playing against the likes of what we played today, and certainly Wednesday's game.
You touched on it earlier, I think, Chris, in your first answer, but you didn't use any substitutes today. You've obviously got a lot of firepower there on your bench today. It's one of those where if you make a change, it might disrupt too much what's on the pitch already.
And that was the feeling. It's always a calculation when you're putting subs on. One is, is it like for like? Is it something a little bit different? But sometimes when you're in a rhythm of the game, and that the quality you're up against and what they can bring on, you've got to make sure not to disrupt it too much, and you've got to have confidence in the players that are on, and certainly if you are seeing somebody that you think you're starting to look a little bit tired or a little bit leggy, then you'll make that change, and unfortunately we didn't see that in them, and hence didn't make any changes.
You were asked a question in the pre-match press by one of my colleagues. I'm going to nick it because it was a good question, where he basically said, do you feel better equipped to deal with teams like Bournemouth now than you were in November, when you had to play the top six one after another? I wonder if today's shown that, because you matched them every kick of the way, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it probably did show that. I think we've recruited well in the window, and I think what happens with that recruitment, one it's about the quality you bring in, but also I think it's the competition and the lift that it gives the group. And obviously with a few injuries to come back, we want that competition to be as strong as possible, because we're now going to go through again another series of midweek games where they're going to come thick and fast, and we are going to have to make sure and use the squad.